by any pace, any way you want to play. Jeff Turner all over Merrick. Referees don't think it slows him down, so they don't call the whistle. Turner, again, he's a tough-nosed defender, slowing Merrick down, who started out this game on fire. Roadrunners slow things down, run their offense, a couple backdoor cuts from the backside. End up with a long jump shot and get the rebound over in the corner. Again, no good. Roadrunners look for the high-low. It's not there. They swing it around a couple times. Now they go high-low on the inside, and a wild shot by number 25, Connor Horton, who ends up getting nothing. The Eagles are pushing it back down the floor, swing it a couple times. There's Mr. Benson. We hadn't heard anything from him in a while, and he comes up big underneath with an easy layup. This kid seems to be a big-time player. Very strong, very, very stocky, but can do it all. Put it on the floor, shoot a little bit, drive to the basket. Oh, a nifty pass by 34, Benjamin Callahan, drawing the Eagles defender, getting him off his feet and dropping it off for an easy layup. That's good textbook basketball. Another ball movement and a good look on the inside by the Eagles that Benson just can't capitalize on. Benson ends up with a loose ball, catch at the top of the key, and that's what I was just telling you about. The big man Benson does a little bit of everything. Puts it on the floor, finishes inside, knocks down the trailer jumper from the top of the key. There's really not much on the offensive end that you can find that man can't do. If they can keep the ball in his hands and keep this good ball movement that they have, they may have a chance to come back. Merrick comes down and gets another basket. Then the Roadrunners defense, three-quarter defense, ends up coming up with another steal. This Roadrunners defense is it's just like their name. They're all over the place. They're running up and down, getting hands on balls, diving on floor for loose balls, and coming up with steal after steal to hold this lead. With 1:28 left in the third, we got nonstop action. Don't let the scoreboard fool you guys. This is a really, really good game. 19-point deficit by the Eagles as they walk it up, facing this half-court trap here. McCarthy allows him to trap him in the corner, turns the basketball over, fails to get back, but they do foul before they give up the breakaway layup. Side out of bounds play here by the Roadrunners. They look for the high-low pass broken up by the Eagles, number 11, Cody Park. Park is a senior guard for the Texoma Christian Eagles, who's played a very, very solid game here out of their starting lineup. Eagles have on the floor number 2, Kyle McCarthy, number 11, Cody Park, number 10 off the bench, Jack Turner, who's had a really good game so far. And big man 00 Blaze Benson, who right on the cue comes up with another huge block. I'm sorry, that's big man 25 Crow, who right on the cue comes up with a big block. They work the short corner looking inside to to Jack Turner, who tries to make a baseline drive, ends up with nothing, stepping on the line. It'll be Roadrunner basketball. This Roadrunner defense is tenacious. So here you go again, Jack Turner picking up Merrick on a full court. Merrick being one of the Roadrunners' best ball handlers. The Eagles coach has decided to try to keep the ball out of his hands. What a crafty stop by Merrick on a pullback. Seems to have the juice on the offensive end. He stops and pops above the three, but it's no good. But they get the offensive rebound, scrape, scrap, and stay with it. Another layup opportunity that's no good by number 34, Benjamin Callahan. The Eagles have the basketball coming up the floor. Number 10, Jack Turner with a hustle play and a floating jump shot from the elbow. Drops after a couple bounces. Roadrunners 13, Jeff Wilson, who's been kind of quiet in these last couple minutes, brings it up the floor. He gets trapped. by McCarthy. McCarthy with a steal, passes it ahead, but stolen by 20. Merrick, who saves the day. The road runners going to the fourth quarter, still up 17 points. Your score, 27 Eagles, 44 Road Runners. We'll be right back. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. The Eagles still down 17 to the Road Runners, who end up with a quick steal and a breakaway layup in the first few seconds of the game. I just can't keep up with this Road Runners group. They're all over the place on the defensive end, transitioning it into some easy plays on the offensive end, and this is how they have this 19-point lead. Don't get me wrong, ladies and gentlemen. The Eagles have played a strong game and have had their opportunities with some nifty passing and some high-low looks, but they just haven't had enough to stick with this Road Runner group. Road Runners again with the steal, a kick ahead to number 20, Tobias Merrick, who ends up getting fouled. It'll be Road Runner ball on the sideline. We have a side out-of-bounds play coming here soon, right after this check-in by Mr. Blaze Benson. Checking in for number 3, Matthew McCarthy. Road Runners inbound the ball. They decide to slow it down. Ball in the hands of Jeff Wilson, who's a phenomenal penetrator, who's being guarded by Benson. They decide to run the high pass. They bring a guy up to the high post, then run the backdoor cut, look for the high-low. The high-low wasn't there. They make 1-2 passes and an easy kick out, but have nothing on the 3. Get their own rebound. Corner 3 by Mr. Merrick, who puts 3 to his own head as he knocks down the candy sweet jumper from the corner. The Eagles bring the ball across half, end up getting drawing of the blocking foul against the charge. Sideline out of bounds, Eagles basketball. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a highly entertaining game, mainly because of the fact that the Road Runners have not stopped running since they hit the floor, but also because of the fact that the Eagles have continued to grind and pound and play their style of basketball no matter what the scoreboard says. I think if they can figure out a way to get the cap off the rim, as well as cut down on their turnovers, they still may have a slight chance with 6 minutes and 40 seconds left in this fourth quarter. Step back again by Merrick. He decides not to shoot it. They make a couple passes to the trailer jumper by 25, Connor Horton, whose jumper goes in and out. Eagles walk the ball to the floor. Look for the pass. It's not there. They hold the ball, looking around, keep swinging it. Now they're back into their high-low look. It's not there. Mr. Benson had somebody wide open in the corner, decides not to hit it, decides to swing opposite to Jack Turner, who penetrates and shoots a jumping floater, but that goes in and out. Turner again tries to come up and pick Merrick up full court, but it's too late. Merrick has the balls in his hands. He's walking it up the floor. Turner sits down on defense. Merrick slow dribbles him, lulls him to sleep, goes by him with a penetrating kick. They're back into their dribble weave. They got the ball moving very well. Again, the dribble penetration from 13. Merrick back in the lane. A wide open catch and shoot at the elbow by 50. Andrew Bell, that's no good. The road runners again on offense rebound. Merrick has it for easy catch and shoot. This guy is on fire. Mr. Merrick is in fuego tonight. He's a huge reason why his team is up 14 as they continue to trap and continue to press and to continue to push the defensive intensity versus this Eagles group. The Eagles bigs still trying to force their issue on the inside. Come up short on the first jumper, but they are there. Carson Crow again with the follow. These two big guys are a lot to handle. Merrick has the ball, dribble penetration, decides to slow things out, kick it out to Wilson, who waits on the defender to close. He draws the big recovers. There's nothing there, so they decide to bring it back out, go back into a dribble weave motion. Penetrate and kick, pump fake, nothing there. Penetrate and kick again, and a big block by Crow. And on the box out, we have a blocking foul called on Kyle McCarthy. The referee says he didn't give number 34, Benjamin Callahan, a place to land. I know we have a lot of fans that don't agree with that, but if the shooter is going up, you have to give him room to land before you can box him out. McCarthy fails to do so, and that seems to be his 5th foul of the game. McCarthy is the starting point guard for the Eagles. That'll be a huge blow. Let's see if they decide to go to his twin brother, and they do. They go to his twin brother, Matthew McCarthy, for the sub. Man, it looks like Matthew will finish this game the rest of the way. Crowd gives McCarthy a standing ovation here as they know this kid has played tough-nosed basketball for him tonight. Had been much in the scoring column, but he's rebounded the ball well, moved the basketball well, found his bigs, kept them in the game, and kept them available. These guys are doing a great job at what they do tonight. Free throws good by the road runners. We're pushing the ball up, my right to left, swinging the basketball, looking for probing this defense, trying to get an easy look inside to Crow, who again catches it, had an opportunity to go straight up, decides to put it on the floor, nevertheless draws the foul. The referee calls a foul on the floor. It will be Eagles basketball on the baseline out of bounds play. They set up in the box set, pop both shooters to the wings, dive both of their bigs. The road runners close the gaps on the bigs, but give up a three from number 21, Brennan Robinson. And that sets the Eagles crowd off. Penetrating kick by the road runners, 25. In and out, no good. Who tries to answer the three on the other end. Connor Horton leaves it a bit short. The Eagles walk it back up the floor. Benson dribble penetrates, gets his shot blocked by Horton. Horton comes up with the loose ball, pushes up the floor, nifty behind the back move. Kick out to Merrick, who slows it down. Horton gets the ball back in his hands. They're handling the basketball. They're back moving the basketball. This road runners team is a well-coached group. They get all the way to the rack, and a foul is going to go on number 25, Carson Crow, called for the hack as the road runner player goes to the rack. That'll be number 34, Benjamin Callahan, who's had himself a pretty good ball game tonight. Callahan with an unorthodox shot at the free throw line, opening up both hands, not using that guide hand much, but nevertheless knocking down the free throw in the front end of this two-shot trip. On the second one, same thing. I don't even think that thing touched the rim either time. All candy, all cash on the free throw attempts. Eagles walk it up the floor. Again, looking for the high-low option. Again, looking for the post feed from the wings. They have nothing, so they decide to settle for a catch-and-shoot three from Matthew McCarthy, the backup point guard who's taking for his brother Kyle McCarthy, but it's no good. Merrick dribbles the ball up the floor, draws a foul. Looks like he was about to attempt a three, but decides to pull it back down since he's going to the free throw line shooting two. Checking in for the road runners will be number 25, Connor Horton, and number 33, John Callahan. Road runners to the line, two shots. Tobias Merrick knocks down the front end of the two-shot trip. Road runners again to the line. Second shot. The road runners have been stout tonight at the free throw line, knocking down the majority of their free throws. Again, this is how they got the lead. We saw it earlier in the girls' game. The free throw line is such an important factor when it comes to these big-time games, really all games. But I'm really, really impressed by this road runner group. They've gotten it done at the free throw line. They've gotten it done in the defensive end. They've gotten it done on transition. And they've even scored in the half-court set. You can't get it done any other way on the offensive end. They know how to get points on the board, and they know how to, and you can easily see why they had that 12-0 district record. The Eagles get an easy lay-in, but they also get a delay of game warning on one of their bigs who decides to tip the basketball after it goes through the net. Road runners decide to slow things down, dragging the Eagles out to the half-court line, forcing them to come out and guard their penetrators. And again, one of the better penetrators for the road runners, number 13, Jeff Wilson, drives the lane, ends up drawing the blocking foul, and he'll go to the line shooting a 1-and-1 as the Texoma Eagles pick up their 8th team foul of the night. Jeff Wilson misses the front end of the 1-and-1. That's a rare sight for those runners tonight, as I said earlier, they continue to get it done at the line. But nevertheless, their defense holds steady as they force the turnover, and they're able to draw the Eagles out in this full court press. When the Eagles will foul, road runners will go back to the line. 2 minutes and 27 seconds left. I dare say that this thing may be over, and the road runners may be punching their ticket to the state championship game in the next 2 minutes. Well, they will face off the winner of the second half of this doubleheader, boys 2A state championship doubleheader, between Brian Brazos and Huntsville Alpha Omega. Free throw good by 34. Benjamin Callahan, who again gets it done at the line. This is a very well-balanced road runner group. They have faced off against these two big guys in the Eagles, have taken their blows, but they still keep coming. They still keep pushing. The Eagles aren't going to go away easily. They're going to go down swinging. The score is 61-33. Road runners have opened this thing up. The Eagles are still fighting strong, but it looks like another case of too much, too little, too late. First free throw good by 25, Carson Crow. Second free throw no good. We got a hold on the Eagles player. That'll send the road runners back to the line. Shooting now a double bonus trip. So they'll shoot 2 free throws at the line. That is the Eagles' 10th free throw on the night and of this second half. That foul went on number 11, Cody Park. At the line, number 25, the sophomore forward, Connor Horton. Bringing the ball up the floor is the big fella, Blaze Benson. He decides to probe the offense itself, pushes it, kicks it out to the backup point guard, number 3, Matthew McCarthy on the wing for a catch and shoot. No good. Ball back to the Eagles. Road runner swing, the basketball, great ball movement by the runners. Air ball, though, by number 3, Matthew McCarty in the corner. Road runners have the possession and it looks like they're going to have the game with 1 minute and 40 seconds left. 28-point ball game deficit held by the Roadrunners. The Eagles are scrapping and clawing, trying to come up with some sort of steal or some type of stop so they can try to get a couple more on the board, but I don't think it'll make a difference in the outcome of this game. Roadrunners taking their time, eating up the clock, milking it. An opportunity for a wide open catch and shoot in the corner. They turn down, walk it around. Jeff Wilson swings it inside to a wide open 25 Connor Horton. You can't draw up your stall game better than that, coaches. The ball moves all over the floor. Every man on the floor touches it, scrambles the defense, and all of a sudden you get an easy duck in and an and-one layup by Connor Horton. And that'll be another Eagle player with 5 fouls on the night. That's going to be on your big number 25, Carson Crow, who started to come on there in the third quarter and in the second half. And that'll do it for him. As he checks out, he goes to shake the other coach's hand. And checking into the game for the Eagles on his first look of the night would be Tex Monk. Tex is a freshman forward for the Eagles, getting a little bit of action tonight in the last minute of the game. Always good when you get your young fellas an opportunity to play, but definitely would wanted to have it under different circumstances than a 31-point blowout in the Texas Semifinals game. Nevertheless, coach goes ahead and clears the bench, brings in the Texoma Christian reserves, and they're going to get their opportunity to show their coach what they can do here tonight. The crowd gives a standing ovation to Mr. Blaze Benson, who fought the good fight tonight. As we go into the last minute and 8 seconds of this game, you have your Texoma Eagles 34, the Roadrunners 65. Eagles have the basketball moving around. They look inside, turnaround jumper. As soon as he steps on the floor, number 32, sophomore post John Bladden, and this crowd just erupted. You would think that they were on the other side of the scoreboard the way they screamed for the big man that got in the game and got an early basket. Ball moves around by the Roadrunner, swings once, swings twice. Nothing there, a couple pivots by number 1, Bennett Hosington, who's also seeing his first opportunity of some action tonight. Number 3, Ian McGinn in the game for the Roadrunners. And a slew of other guys coming off the bench. Both teams have their reserves out here. Both sides are on their feet, clapping it up. We've had ourselves a great semifinal game with the Texas 2A State Finals between the Texoma Christian Eagles, who will be unfortunately going home, to the Austin Roadrunners, who will be facing the winner of our Brian Brazos Huntsville Alpha Omega game that's up next. Ladies and gentlemen, please don't go anywhere. We look forward to seeing you for this second game to find out who will face these Austin Roadrunners in the state 2A TAPPS championship game.